Is Ayub Qassim hiding something? And does he know more about what really happened to Jay Slater? This ex-Welsh drugs ring boss rented the Airbnb where missing Jay Slater stayed in Tenerife.
Although we have opened up links with dangerous criminal underworld of drugs and associated crime. We have a number of outstanding actions that still require completing and remain open-minded with our investigation.
Is Ayub Qassim involved in any way with what happened to Jay Slater? Is he telling the truth, or is he lying about Jay leaving the place alive?
On the morning of the 17th of June, on arrival back to the rental, Jay spoke to a number of different people on his phone, and they would describe him as very much awake and still buzzing. As a result of information we've received, we now know that Jay took certain actions whilst at the rental because he was clearly worried about his own safety, and this was shortly before he decided to leave.
Why did Jay leave the party with this man? Why did he travel all the way to the Airbnb with Ayub Qassim and Ayub's friend? Who is Ayub Qassim and what do we know about him? Ayub has previously been convicted for running a heroin and crack cocaine operation in Cardiff nearly 10 years ago. He was one of the last people to see Jay before he vanished in Tenerife.
In the last few days, I've received a significant new piece of information which I've shared with both the British and Spanish police. This provides some clarity as to why he may have left in a hurry and did not want to return to the rental even though his phone was about to go flat.
Considering the amount of people that die from things like crack cocaine and heroin, I'm guessing that he doesn't have much regard for other people's lives. And unfortunately for Jay, this guy does not seem like no small timer. He seems like a very well connected guy with a lot of history. Ayub Qassim is known to some people as Whispers due to his soft-spoken nature. Now, Mr. Qassim told the Spanish police that Jay came to his place alive and left his Airbnb alive. Now, guys, that statement in itself, if he has done something, he's actually given himself away. You see, they spoke to him the day after Jay went missing, and nobody would have said, asked him that question, is Jay alive or not? They would have asked him, where is Jay? Have you seen Jay? No one would have mentioned to him about whether Jay is alive or not. So why is he talking about that himself? You see, it seems like he's trying to hide something with that statement.
Of those people we have spoken to, we are aware that not everything they have told us will be the truth. There are a number of reasons for this, including their own involvement in criminal activity. However, it must also be said that some of Jay's closest friends have fully engaged with us and discussed things that could cause them to be unfairly judged by the public.
Now, the Spanish police did interview Mr. Qassim and the unnamed companion that he was traveling with, but deemed them irrelevant to the investigation. Now, I don't know how they deemed them irrelevant to the investigation when they were one of the last people to see Jay. You see, they let them fly back to England the next day. That doesn't seem right either. I mean, I'm not sure if the Spanish police are naive, stupid, or if they're working with this guy, but they've definitely not interrogated him properly. An ex-accomplice of Ayub Qassim came forward to the Daily Mirror to give a report about her past involvement with a drug network operated by Ayub. Her name is Rodha Singh, 59 years old. She said that the gang was based in London, and although they were based in London, they ran their operation from Miss Singh's house in Kilcatton Street in Splot, Cardiff. In a dramatic turn of events back in October 2014, undercover police observed drug deals taking place from 3 hours before, raiding Miss Singh's home even as the occupants tried to block entry with a large tyre to prevent the police from coming in. Now, what type of associates does Ayub Qassim have? Like, which type of people does he hang around with? Let's try and get an idea about his life. Continuing on with my research, I find that Ayub Qassim is very close friends with a famous rapper. He calls himself Potter Paper, but his real name is Jamal Bowsbar. You see, he was only released from prison a few years ago. He was released in June 2020. Now Potter Paper, as he likes to call himself, was sentenced to 5 years for running a county lines drug smuggling operation from London to Clacton, Essex in March 2018. The Barking and Dagenham Post reported this. Now Potter Paper's business was known as the Frankie Line. It exported Class A drugs via a network of dealers and sold to addicts in the seaside town of Clacton in Essex. He ran the operation with Regan Richards Neville, 23 from Dagenham in East London, who was caged for 3 years and 4 months. The pair were seized by police after a 2-year investigation and a search of a property in Clacton, which turned up 45 wraps of heroin and 57 wraps of crack cocaine. Some of you may be thinking, well, what type of singer is he? What type of rapper is he? Well, in his latest track, known as Daily Duppy, which was posted on a YouTube channel, GRM Daily, he is seen giving smoke and gun gestures as he raps about his lifestyle. Looks like Ayub Qassim's famous friends are not really your average Joe type of characters. It looks like they're also involved in the type of crimes that he's involved in. You would think that the Spanish police would do a bit of research on Ayub Qassim and his friend before letting them go. You know, you'd think that they'd interrogate them, ask them a few more questions, but no, they didn't seem to be of any interest to them at all. Why is that? Something about this really stinks, guys. Something about this is just not right.